Let's move on to how we calculate beta. Beta comes into play when our null is false. Throughout our thing, now let's do this with blue. This distribution is drawn assuming the null is true with black color. Okay. If indeed the null is false, that means there's no problem with the shape. The problem is where it's centered. It said, continuing with the same example, we have said that there is no difference. So theta, defined as the difference between the proportion of people showing improvement in the examples, there is no difference, so this is true. If indeed, let's say that this is false, there is actually some difference, that there would be some value of that difference over here. Now let's say that is delta. Okay, there's no problem with the shape, so what we would have is the true distribution would be this. The problem would be where the distribution is centered. Okay, if the actual value of the parameter is theta and the distribution is this, and we collect a sample, there is a much higher probability that the test statistic would have a value somewhere close to delta. Okay, say this was our critical value and to the right the rejection region. This is our procedure. Ideally, then the value calculated using the sample should lie here, somewhere close to here, and we should be able to reject H0. But samples being samples, they are random. We have this distribution. The distribution says this fact that there is a low probability, but there is that even though this may be true, the sample value may come somewhere over here. This is not touching the axis. If that is true and we get our value to the left of critical region, okay, red here does not mean region of rejection now. It has a different interpretation. It's just that this is false, this is true, but our sample is extreme even though this is true and the value ends up being here. We would fail to reject it. Okay. What we're doing is then we're making a type 2 error. This area is beta. The probability of values ending up here, even though this is true, that is beta. Area under this true density curve now. Type 2 error, it's false. Ideally, the value should be away, close to here, away from here, but things are not always ideal. It ends up here. We fail to reject it. That is beta. That is type 2 error. If things go well, we should have our value close to here. Further away there causes no problem. That is, if this is beta, this blue one is 1 minus beta. This is power of the test. 1 minus beta is the power of the test. 1 minus alpha is level of significance. Okay, the context is very different between level of significance and power of the test. You have to just remember the diagrams. Power of the test comes into play if null is false. If null is false, we have two distributions. The false one, which we have drawn assuming null as true, and a true one, which we do not know. Then we have power of the test coming into play and type 2 error. Otherwise, for level of significance, we don't have a distribution there. The red one is not there. This is the true one. And just by chance, your sample throws a value which is, let me just draw that one also. This diagram, when H naught is false, this one, only one distribution when it is true. In our example, this would be on eta, critical value, critical value, critical, critical. Okay. It may be so that this is true, fine, there's no problem, and just by chance you get a value here and you say that now we have enough evidence and rejected. Although this is true, but just by chance you get there. Okay, so you can be sure this area is 1 minus alpha. That is the probability 1 minus alpha that you're going to fail to reject it when it's true. But again, now I'm not going to use red, I'm just going to say it. This small area alpha is the probability that you're going to end up rejecting a true hypothesis, type 1 error. Okay. Now, how does power of the test increase? How can we increase, or naturally how does power of the test increase? If somehow naturally this is far away from whatever we have assumed is null. If you are assuming that there is no difference, if the actual difference is quite large, then power of the test would increase. Why so? Because the more, if you just push it there, okay, critical value is for the black one, it's fixed, it doesn't depend on red, doesn't depend on the true distribution, it depends on the false one. If we push, or if naturally if it so happens that this is to the right, the red one would be to the right, black is there, the area under the red curve to the left of critical value, that would fall, and the remaining 1 minus beta, it would increase, that would increase the power of the test.